Good Monday afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Maple Minute, your daily dose of Canadian basketball content. Just got back from, right now I'm just finished a day's work in Toronto, downtown Toronto, Front Street right now. But I'm on my commute home. I wanted to recap my weekend at Fort Erie. First time being at the Den. Incredible experience for a grind session event. The Battle in the Fort. Tons of top talent from across Canada especially, but also across the States. They had Prolific Prep, Winston-Salem Christian there. Multiple Canadians on both of those teams as well, which was cool to see. Liam Daco Green on Prolific Prep. They had Darius McGlashan on Winston-Salem Christian. Felipe Patino on Winston-Salem Christian. I think they had another kid on Prolific Prep that might have been from St. Catharines as well. But like the star of the show was AJ Dubinsta, possible number one pick in the 2026. Sorry guys. Possible number one pick in the 2026 NBA draft. 15-year-old kid, 6'10", beautiful jump shot, like great lift on his jump shot, and just when he let it go. He let it go and it looked like it was going to go long, but somehow it had like a magnet to the bottom of the rim, and it was just boom, 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 nonstop. Kid was spectacular in warm-ups. He's good in the game. I saw against Winston-Salem. The whole team is good. They got a kid going to Alabama on that team. They got a kid that's deciding between like Kansas, Washington, like 6 really top programs. They got like a ton of talent on that team. It was a ridiculous amount of talent. I'm a Canadian basketball scout, so I wasn't really focused much on the Americans, but it was cool to see the talent that they have down there come up north of the border. And it was cool to see there was 6 D1 coaches in the gym, 6 D1 programs, in the gym this weekend watching Battle in the Fort when I was there. St. Bonaventure, Niagara College, Alabama pulled up, which was the coolest. Head coach Nate Oates was there. They rolled 3 deep to come see their commit, the big 7-footer or 6'10" guy on Prolific Prep. I can't remember his name right now. I'll put it in the comments after. It's not a Canadian, so it really doesn't matter to me. But yeah, 3 deep from Alabama. I got to talk to Nate Oates for a little bit. That was really cool. But what was the most shocking about it was that 6 Division I programs made their way up over the border to come check out this event, this grind session event. Not one single U Sports school or CCAA school in the gym that I saw, or maybe they got in the gym, they wore their casual gear and they didn't have a logo on them, but I didn't see any U Sport coaches in the gym at all. And with this new scholarships being available for athletes, there should be no reason why that gym is not packed with U Sport coaches. And someone was talking to coaches at the gym, talking to players at the gym, and just people at the gym, and they're saying like, oh, maybe they play this weekend so they can't make it down. And it's just like, there's got to be an assistant that you don't need on the bench for your games that you can send down, or some kind of like intern kid that's like trying to get into sports management. He's working with the team, like a manager. Send him down and film all the games, and you can go watch them yourself afterwards. But it's like, you got to have U Sport representation there. It just goes to show like how Canada is. Like, I was talking to guys from the States at that game. They're saying if this was in Texas or if this was in Arizona, there'd be 5,000 people in the gym. Top talent. Like the Fort Erie Winston-Salem game was one of the best games I've seen in years, since David Simon at Orangeville Prep when he was with Royal Crown last year or the year before when Theodore Silla was there. Any Orangeville Prep game is really, really, really high quality atmosphere, just because they have so many teams there and they really buy into the culture. But this was a really special game at Fort Erie. Winston-Salem went up early. This Joel McCott guy who just committed to Mississippi State, he went bananas. 7-footer. I guess he's Australian or African by way of Australia. Ends up at North Carolina School, Winston-Salem. He stands out right away. As soon as he walks in the gym, you notice this kid. He's a freak of nature, basically. 7 foot, can shoot the 3. He hit 3 threes off the hop. Came down, had a poster on a kid on Fort Erie, and multiple posters, but it didn't faze Fort Erie at all. He was getting hyped. The gym was getting hyped for him. He was talking a lot of crap, like coming in. He had one play where he dunked dunked on one end, came back down the other end, said, "This is my gym," and was pointing at his arm, doing the whole thing, and "This is my gym." And Fort Erie, the whole team took offense to that, but none other than the Virginia commit, Ishan Sharma. He clapped back right away. Like, as soon as he started saying that, he's like, "Oh yeah, this is your gym. We'll see about that." I'm just paraphrasing. I couldn't read his lips, but you could tell that Ishan was like, "Yeah, you're not gonna say that in my gym, buddy. Like, I've been here for 3 years. This is my gym." So they're down 12. Ishan was talking back. It was really good to see. He comes down to the next play, gets an and one on the 7-footer, right in his ear, talking back to him, hits the free throw. They start chipping away at it. The point guard for Fort Erie, one of my favorite prospects in the class of 2025, Chris Kumu, he got dunked on probably 2 or 3 times, and it was like just another play for him. He wasn't phased whatsoever, which was the most impressive thing to me. A lot of kids, first off, a lot of kids are too scared to jump with a 7-footer. I give Kumu credits for that right off the hop. Secondly, is if you get dunked on, you're usually embarrassed, or the kid's doing the head tap and you're looking down, you got your head down, your chin down, and you're not thinking about the next play. That was not Kumu at all. Kumu got dunked on, and it was like, bang, inbound the ball, give me the ball back. He was like, he wanted the ball back and get back down the court and attack them, and he was going right back at them. He played an amazing game. I usually think of him as more of a bit of like an explosive scoring guard, but he was really showing his playmaking skills and his point guard skills in that Winston-Salem game. I was really, really impressed with him. It's always impressive to see him play. He's a phenomenal talent. I definitely think he's a high major prospect. The athleticism speaks for itself. He's got a ton of he's charismatic. He's got a great character, high character kid. I'm a big fan of 2025 Chris Kumu, Brookwood Elite, Fort Erie. He's going to be a stud at a college level. So that was a great game. Darius McLaughlin played well. He had a nice poster, 2-hand dunk. He's a point guard. He's really incredible talent. 2026 down in North Carolina. I saw him play for the first time on Instagram, stuff like that. But the first time seeing him live was at the BioSteel game 2 years ago. He was sensational, just like an incredible talent, so polished, so poised, takes it very seriously. He's not screwing around during warm-ups. He's just really focused. Same with Felipe Patino. Just the 2 Canadian kids come down there, and there's a different demeanor about them than the American kids. And there's nothing against these Americans, but it's just fine. Sometimes when the Canadians go down to the States, they're taking it damn serious. They're not screwing around. They're not joking around in warm-ups. Everything is professional, especially on Winston-Salem. The 2 Canadian prospects they have, Felipe Patino, 2024, and Darius McLaughlin, top-notch kids, like top-tier athletes, top-tier prospects. Like, you're not going to get, there's no baggage with these kids. They're just going to come in and do the work and help you succeed and do everything the coach asks. So those 2 kids are incredible talents, and it was good to see them on home soil, playing for American teams, unfortunately, but home soil nonetheless, so it's good. Some other guys that really impressed me this weekend: Polaris Prep, Ewan Steele, 6'8", do-it-all, jackknife. This guy is like, he can defend. I'm confident to say he can defend 1 through 4. And like, you don't want him guarding a 1 all game long, but he switches onto a 1. He has no problem keeping with that guy for a play or a shot clock whole through, like 24 seconds through. He has no problem switching onto smaller players. He stretched out, hit a bunch of threes, was breaking down closeouts, had a beautiful poster dunk on Orangeville. Yeah, I just really was impressed with Ewan Steele in that second game especially. Another guy that I liked was London Basketball Academy's Dilvir Randawa, 6'6", shoot the cover off the ball. A very, very motivated kid to get to the next level. You can tell by the way he carries himself and the way he interacts with his coach and with his teammates. He really wants it bad. You can tell just by his demeanor. Great shooting stroke, like just beautiful release, like picturesque release. All the British Columbia kids, I don't know what they do over there, but they definitely work on their shooting, because some of the best shooters have come from British Columbia, from Miguel Tomley, Idaho State right now, to one of my favorite prospects, Rav Randawa, no relation, but a phenomenal shooter. Dilvir's cut from the exact same cloth. Can shoot. Oh, Cam Slaymaker. So many kids from BC can just like shoot the piss out of the ball, and Dilvier is the same kid. He can go for a 50 if he's an efficient 52. Like he's not a high volume shooter, but he's a consistent knockdown shooter. But he also ends up having to play a lot of big man for this for the London basketball team, London Basketball Academy. They got a really tough group of kids, but they don't have a lot of height. I think Dilbeer is probably one of the tallest players on the team, so he's forced to play a little bit of like a 4-5 guards, at least a 4-5. So that's gonna benefit him at the next level for sure, just guarding bigger prospects. But he really impressed me this weekend. I know he's not a 4, so seeing him go hard, playing the 4, stretching the floor, shooting the ball like he does, making good plays, being a secondary initiator was great to see. I really like Xavier McLean on Orangeville Prep. He's another kid out of BC. He's a UPlay product. He went bananas from beyond the arc. He can get to the rim. He's got great athleticism, 6'8". He's a 2025, so he's got another year to go after this. Incredible talent. I also was impressed with Kieran Mullen on Orangeville Prep, 7-footer. This sounds like a BC podcast right now, but these BC kids can really go, and Orangeville's got a great connection there. Akat McClure, 6'4", 2025 shooting guard, quick twitch, great energy, great spark plug off the bench. He might have started, but he can come off the bench and just like ignite the whole team. Like he's definitely one of the most eye-catching prospects in the gym this weekend. Who else was there? That was pretty good. David Papa, of course, Hodem Prep. I was impressed with them. Just the way he plays, the way he handles himself on and off the court. He's a great kid, unbelievable shooter. Got to see Matt Dan, 7-footer. Oregon's been heavy on Matt Dan. He's 2025 as well. True 7-footer. Got a lot of skills. Talking to St. Bonaventure coach there this weekend, one of the assistants. He said this guy could be a real piece going down the line, a Division I piece for sure. So it's definitely intriguing to see Canadians with a 7-footer Canadian. Like you can't teach that size. So I always am intrigued by that kind of talent. But one of the coolest parts of the weekend was getting to see signing day for these guys. Cavachon, the assistant coach for Fort Erie, invited me to come into the library on the Saturday there. They had Ishan Sharma, 6'5", Virginia commit. They had Felix Casares, Brookwood elite product. He's at Fort Erie as well. He's going to Colorado. And they also had a surprise signing that I wasn't aware of until the day of, was that Christian Nitu, 6'11" unicorn prospect, one of my favorite prospects I've seen, just in terms of like trajectory wise. He has all the fixings of these the new age positionless basketball players, the Chet Holmgrens, the Victor Wembanyamas. He's 6'11". He can protect the rim, but he can put the ball on the ground and bring it up. Like he could get the ball over half and set up the offense. He is incredible shooter. He's got great lift on his jump shot, great height on his release. I've been a really big fan. He's been plagued with injuries, but at the Ball Don't Stop showcase this past summer or springtime, he had 40 on a bad leg. Like he was playing through injury, had 40 points. This kid, when he's healthy, could easily be the best prospect in Canada. When he's fully healthy, ready to go, there's no telling how good this kid could be. So getting to see those guys, all their family members there, the other team, like the girls team, their teammates, the speeches that Coach Charles and Coach Cav gave were just incredible. I've never been to a signing day like that before. I've seen a lot on TV. I remember watching Mike Nwaku at Prolific Prep. He signed on Instagram Live, and that was a cool day. But being boots on the ground in Fort Erie for that event was quite the experience. Really, really enjoyed myself there. Missed about an hour of the games, but well worth it for that experience. So it was really cool. So congratulations to Ishan Sharma, Felix, and Christian Nitu. You guys are incredible players. Fort Erie's done a great job with with producing talent the past 3 years that they've been in existence, from Leonard Miller, Isaac Jack, J.D. Clayton. The list is going to go on and on just throughout this year even. Tons of talent on that team. It was a great weekend overall. I'll have a report coming out this evening or first thing tomorrow morning. All my coaches in the that are subscribed to the Maple Minute Prospect Watch, you'll be getting anybody that I thought was a standout this weekend. I'll also have some stuff from the EIBC coming out. I know Edge Prep was down there, had a lot of players. Cole Beck Green's one guy that I'm really keen on. He had a good weekend. Jovan Milicevic of CIA, Arizona School. They got Jalik Dunkley. They got a ton of talent down there. They had a good weekend. There was tons of content coming out on my social media pages. On Twitter, you can follow me at The Maple Minute. On Instagram, at The Maple Minute. Please check out the website. We're putting out all kinds of content there. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, top 10 RSEQ prospects in the CJEB League from our Quebec-based scout, Tymal Simpson. We had Elliot Rosenhelt. He did top 5 players in the MCAC. We got boots on the ground, 4 different provinces. My guy Will Johnson from City and Love, he's constantly at all the high school games out where he's at. So like we're really grinding at the Maple Minute. Dustin McTaggart, me and him were in the gym this weekend at the grind session event. So we're working. I hope these kids are working just as hard as we are, because we're trying to get these guys to the next level and give them the exposure they need. And seeing these states teams come up, I can tell right now that our top guys can play with these top American guys without a doubt. So keep recruiting Canada. If you're not recruiting Canada yet, reach out. I'll get you a Canadian. Start building your Canadian pipeline. These are that's it for the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Quick one. Trying to hammer out more of these. A little bit of unedited content coming at you on the commute home. The Maple Minute, your daily dose of Canadian basketball content. Take care, everybody.